EU Brexit negotiator Michel Barnier writes says talks have reached an impasse. Brexit Secretary David is more upbeat. Nigel Morris 11 hours Friday, October 13, 2017 Theresa May received a glimmer of hope that the impasse in the Brexit talks could be broken at a crucial European Union summit next week. Britain has been pressing for negotiations to begin now over the UK's future trade links with the EU after Brexit. The European Commission has been refusing to move on to discussing trade until questions over EU citizens' rights, the status of the Irish border and the size of Britain's divorce payment are agreed. However, a paper in advance of the Brussels summit suggested that the EU could start planning for post-Brexit trade negotiations without involving the UK at this stage. Internal preparations. A Commission document setting draft conclusions for the summit suggests that EU leaders and chief Brexit negotiator Michel Barnier could begin internal preparatory discussions on a future trade relationship and a transition deal. They also call for further work to achieve sufficient progress on the unresolved issues to unlock the second stage of talks to focus on trade. The government had initially hoped to move on to the second phase of talks at next week's summit. But the following Brussels summit, in December, now looks the earliest possible date for the negotiations to be widened. Prospect of cliff-edge exit. If a breakthrough is not achieved by then, Britain and the EU will face a daunting race against the clock to avoid a cliff-edge departure by the UK on the 29th of March 2019. On Thursday, Mr. Barnier said talks on issues including the divorce bill had not achieved sufficient progress for him to be able to recommend moving on to the second phase of negotiations, covering trade. Mr. Barnier said the financial settlement had not even been negotiated over during 4 days of talks this week because the UK was not prepared to indicate how much it was willing to pay. European Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker has said the Brexit process will take longer than we initially thought, blaming delays on Britain's failure to settle its financial obligations. Juncker now they have to pay. Speaking to students in Luxembourg, Mr. Juncker said the nations of Europe should be grateful for what Britain had done during war after war, but added now they have to pay. He said EU citizens living in the UK and Britons on the continent should simply be allowed to retain existing rights. Mr. Juncker said negotiators were making progress on the issue at talks which have been running since June in Brussels. But he added, I don't even understand this problem. Why not say easily, with common sense, that things will stay as they are? News http://sinews.co.uk